Amrita, if we were to recap back to your Betab days, would you say that those years, those working years, were the most glorious in your life?
Yes, undoubtedly the most glorious working years. Yeah.
And tell me about those days. Were you like really ambitious?
Actually, no, I wasn't, because I was very young when I started working. I actually didn't even know what I was getting into when I started working. And I was quite successful when I was quite young.
How old were you at that time?
I was 18 when Betab was released. And by the time I was about 19 or 20, I think I'd worked with the best producers and the best actors in the industry and some of the best directors.
Did you ever think at that point that, yes, I'm going to consider quitting my work?
Oh, yes, always. I think pretty much from the time I've gotten into my job, I've known that, I mean, it's for the moment, and while it lasts, I'm going to enjoy it and I'm going to quit. I don't know, I'm basically like that. I'm not somebody who gets into something thinking that this is going to last forever, certainly not a job. I knew that I was going to quit.
So you did it for a lark?
Well, initially, yes, I did it to basically get out of Delhi, to get out of school. And before I knew it, it was like, such a fulfilling career.
And you really enjoyed it?
I loved it, yeah. That's the one great thing about our job, that, you get paid so wonderfully to just do something that you love doing.
So why did you forego it?
Because I had other priorities at that time when I decided to not
You just
work.
said, I'm getting married, so let me just quit.
No, I had gotten married and then I quit. I worked after I was married. I worked for a few years after I was married. And I was tired and I just wanted to do something different. I wanted to actually do nothing, that's what I did.
So it was your decision?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
You just decided one day, bahut ho gaya,
yeah.
I want to focus on what? What did you want to focus on? Home, children? You didn't have kids at that point, did you?
No, I think conceived Sara when I decided that I didn't want to work anymore. And I quit.
But why is it, Amrita, that most women do quit after they get married? Do you think it's because society dictates to most women in Indian society कि नई नई शादी करके काम नहीं करना चाहिए? Do you think that women just choose to let different priorities take over their life?
Well, I can't really speak for other women, but about myself, I could say that from the time I was a child, I, had this ideal, happy scenario kind of picture in my mind. And marriage was a very integral part of that scenario, that picture that I had in my mind. And I think when I wanted to have children, I felt that my children would need me more than my job would. And it was so much, it's really difficult to say why and what led to what, it's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg, yeah. So I really can't say, and things happen so fast in life that, you don't really have time to plan that मैं इतने साल काम करूँगी या इतने साल मैं काम छोड़ के घर पे बैठूँगी. ये चीज़ें हो जाती हैं और पता भी नहीं चलता कैसे हो गई.
Do you regret your decision to quit working?
No, not at all. Like somebody there said, that she had attained so much in her job that there was really nothing much that she wanted to do, and she thought that marriage was the next thing for her and she wanted to give that her all. और फिर किसी ने कहा कि मेरे बच्चे हुए तो मुझे लगा कि मुझे वो बच्चों को, and I feel like a mixture of all these women. I think I am like a mixture of all these women. We all are somewhere.
Do you think that you really neglected yourself after your marriage?
Yeah, I think I became complacent and I just became lazy.
Why?
Very lazy. Somebody once told me that women have this great urge to nestle. And, I just started looking like a fat ostrich in her nestle, in her nest.
So you think that you were just happy, so you just let yourself go?
Yeah, I was just
because
happy and I was just like in La La Land, I think. And I was just
oblivious
oblivious about,
खाओ
पियो जियो बस ऐश करो सो बच्चे हैं और क्या चाहिए लाइफ में.
लेकिन कहते हैं कि when you're married to a star, it's like you're sitting on a time bomb, a ticking time bomb. Do you agree? I mean, after all, they're surrounded by all these beautiful women. They're going to these outdoor locations, and everything's looking so glamorous, so sexy, so pretty. It's
well, that must be for a traditional or conventional star wife. I was a star before I became a star wife. So I didn't have that insecurity that I had to keep up with the Joneses in any way.
And I guess there's love and there's trust and there's happiness.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that
basically, yeah.
matters.
You get lazy and you get complacent, so you can, make it sound romantic and say it was love and trust and all that. But bottom line is that you just get lazy and, you've been there and you've done it and it doesn't excite you. I mean, it never really excited me to go and sit in a beauty parlor for 5 hours. But
So you
I
never
do that
wanted to.
because it's my job.
Yeah,
I
but you were
have
a
to do that.
star, then you became a star wife. Did it never
But
occur to
then
you
that's
that,
what I said. I was a star before I became a star wife. So I was through with that. I mean, I was always going to be what I was. The way I dressed, I thought didn't really dictate what I was. It wouldn't, if I lived in a kaftan, that wouldn't take away from me that I was Amrita Singh. I was, am, and will always be Amrita Singh. Good, bad, indifferent. Yes, but I did become complacent and lazy about the fact that you have to, look your best all the time. As a woman, not just as a
and
star
and
wife.
and, and Seth
As
never
a woman.
demanded it from you?
No, no. Seth was never a very demanding husband in
He never
something.
said, honey, if you don't want to look good for yourself, that's fine. Look good for me.
Oh, yeah, of course. Like, yeah, he did do that. Yeah, I'm sure he did. Yeah.
And what, he pushed you into getting into the gym and gave you inspiration,
Yeah, he did. He did.
incentives.
Yeah, he did. He did very often. But I'm the kind of person who has to feel it for myself. Nobody can make me do anything. Anything.
Amrita, you've been a star. You've been a star wife. What would you say, in your perspective, are the insecurities of being both?
The insecurities you feel being an actor are more healthy because they're more creative. But being a star wife, the insecurities are unhealthy. They can damage your mind. So if you're an insecure person, you're not going to be happy being a star wife.
So would you say that a large portion of your time you have spent being insecure?
Well, not a large time, but yeah, time enough to damage my mind. Yeah, I have. Insecurity is a huge part of being a star wife. And as a star, you're not insecure because you're the one who creates the insecurity then.
Well, you're back to being a star again, from the big screen to being star wife to being on the small screen. So now tell me, what are the insecurities?
फिलहाल तो कोई ऐसी खास insecurity नहीं है. I just want to be fit and healthy because I have to look after my 2 children. And I love doing that. And for that, I have to do a job. And
कोई तो insecurities होंगे.
actually, अभी कोई नहीं है.
मैं कमा पाऊंगी, मेरा रोल,
फिलहाल तो कमा रही हूँ. कल किसने देखा है?
कोई insecurities नहीं है.
फिलहाल बिल्कुल नहीं है.
Like maybe
फिलहाल
personal ones, who
बिल्कुल
will
नहीं.
share my life? Will I find somebody?
I'm not even looking. I'm not even looking. And, I'm
Will
not
I have time
interested.
for my kids? Will my kids grow up right?
Well,
anything. I mean, all the pressures that come with being a working woman. I mean,
I'm a
and
mother, I'm
especially,
not
Amrita,
God.
the hours that you're working. I mean, you are working phenomenal hours. You're working 15-hour days, 18-hour days at times.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, you can't have your cake and eat it too in life. I've discovered that. There are no free meal tickets in life. I've discovered that as well.
do you think that your divorce was the worst crisis you have ever faced in your
No,
life?
no. The worst crisis of my life was losing my mother. That was the worst crisis because that's the only identity and that's the only pillar that I've really had in my life. I had no other family other than my mother. I come from a broken home and I have no siblings. And I only live with my mother. And I lost my mother at a very crucial time in my life. And losing her was a huge blow. And then when Ibrahim was born, he got very unwell. And that was the second nasty blow in my life. So my divorce comes much low down in the priority list of shocks.
अमृता, इतने गंभीर पर्सनल क्राइसिस के टाइम आपने ये मैं चुप रहूंगी एटीट्यूड क्यों अडॉप्ट किया? आई मीन आफ्टर योर स्टार, Saif is a star, there's so much media interest in your lives, and you just haven't spoken up at all about what really happened, how you took it. Why?
Because so much was being done and said so openly that, what was I going to endorse? What would I
Just
gain?
your perspective, or maybe a hurt or pain, or just something from your side.
That's my personal emotion. I don't need to share it with anyone. I didn't feel the need to share it with anyone. I had other things that needed my priority, like my children. And most important, myself. I needed to deal with myself. And people like the media and, curious people were not on my priority list at that time. My children and myself were.
Well, I think it's wonderful then that you have chosen to actually come on the show and talk about a second innings and discuss the fact that, women can go through crisis, numerous kinds of crisis,
Oh, yeah.
losing a parent, a child
Your
suffering,
only
a
parent,
divorce
yeah.
coming into your
Yeah.
life, and still handle it, with a certain strength, dignity, come out of it stronger as you have, get yourself a career. So thank you for this interview.
Oh, no, my pleasure, Pooja.
It's going to be very inspirational for a lot of women out there.
Well, I hope so. We all have our sets of problems, and you're a winner when you die, and you die with a smile. So I don't know if I'm a winner or a loser, but
Well, Ralph Waldo Emerson has said that nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. And enthusiasm you have plenty of.
enough, bountiful of, believe you me.
Amrita, why did you wait for such an adverse situation to propel you back into showbiz?
I needed a job after, what happened in my life. I needed a job. I needed something to give me the mental and the financial stability. I have 2 kids, and I didn't want to just sit at home like a loser. And I decided to get back to a job, and this is the only job I know.
So you're not doing it because you love it. You're doing it because you have to do it.
Yeah, I'm doing it more because I have to do it. But I mean, I love my job. But I'm
you
happier
resent the
being
hours you have
lazy.
to put into it?
I'm basically a lazy person, so I would love not to do anything, but you cannot not do anything in life, which was my complacent stage, and I have to be rid of that stage.
So basically, you're saying you're a lazy person, given a chance to just be happy. So you don't really regret the self-imposed exile
no,
from acting.
Not at all, because like I said, शादी करना भी एक बहुत ज़रूरी एस्पेक्ट होता है मेरे ख्याल में, हर औरत के लिए. मेरे लिए तो बहुत ज़रूरी था. And it's been a wonderful experience to have been married, and I've got 2 beautiful children. So I have no regrets about not working. I got a lot more in return for those 12 years that I didn't work.
But how easy was it for you to make a comeback?
Actually, really easy. Actually, really easy. And I think that's because we are from this fraternity that's very supportive of its family. The film fraternity and the media fraternity एक बहुत बड़ा परिवार है, और अगर आप एक बार इस परिवार के सदस्य बन गए हैं, they'll always give you work.
There's so much that I've missed out on, or so many people that are better at so many more things.
Yes, in a way, maybe, yeah. But you don't have to just like miss out on every aspect in life just because you're not facing the camera. I don't think I had that problem. I don't think I really stagnated much. I did grow in my time when I was not working. I just grew in different avenues.
So what are the immediate things that you required for your comeback?
I had to work on how I looked. I was about maybe 15 kilos fatter than I am right now, about 7, 8 months ago. First, I had to deal with my mental state of mind. Then I had to deal with my physical being.
How did you help your mental state?
I had to overcome everything that I was going through very fast, because I didn't want my children to grow up feeling that they were left with the loser parent.
What do you mean the loser parent?
That, I just stayed at home and just mulled over my situation and, just stayed fat and complacent and unhappy because of my circumstances. I didn't want my children to grow up learning to be, defeated in life by a situation.
You wanted to be a role model for them?
Well, I don't know if I wanted to be a role model for them, but I think I needed to do it for myself first, and I'm glad that I did it, because inadvertently it has been work like a role model for my kids, because they've seen that life's not really over, When very traumatizing things happen to you, sometimes better things can come out of it,
Amrita, आप फिर से जब काम करने लगे, your children must have got the shock of their lives, right? क्योंकि इतने दिन से आप घर पे हैं. So how did they react to your suddenly departing early in the morning and coming back late at night?
Well, I think initially they felt कि घर हमारा है और कुछ माँ नहीं है देखने के लिए, कुछ भी करो. But फिर then it slowly dawned on them that it's not just a one-off holiday. It's a permanent scenario now, where Amma is not at home for many hours and for many days in a month. It's taxing and it's trying, because both my children are small, and I think children need you around,
Yeah.
Ibrahim is बहुत छोटा है, 4 साल का है, और मुझे लगता है उसको माँ की बहुत ज़रूरत है, और मुझे बहुत बुरा लगता है कि मैं उसे वो वक्त नहीं दे सकती हूँ जितना मैं उसे देना चाहती हूँ. सारा भी अब बड़ी हो रही है, उसे ज़रूरत है कि उसकी माँ रहे, लेकिन मैं नहीं रहती हूँ कभी. लेकिन क्या करें, सच इज़ लाइफ, you can't And it's fine, children grow up.
But how do you explain it to them?
Well, I explain it to them that, John, Amma has to go and work because Amma has to look after herself. And if she can't look after herself, she can't look after you.
Tell me something, Amrita, when your marriage was breaking up and you had this whole vision in front of you, oh my God, my life, no husband, 2 kids, did you really think that you would have the strength in you?
Well, no, I think I was hurt. I was very hurt. I didn't think of other issues at that time. I had to first deal with my emotions as a woman. And then thereafter, everything just fell into place. I think as a woman, I had to just deal with the fact that you win some and you lose some. And this was, just not destined to be. And once I accepted that, everything fell into place.
But just the fact that now you have to go out there, you have to earn your money, you've got these 2 little kids, you've got to be the single mom. Didn't the thought ever scare you?
No, it doesn't scare me at all. Because till I'm alive, I know I'm capable. And these things don't scare me. I mean, क्या होगा ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा पैसे नहीं बने तो बेच बाज के सब बैठ जाएंगे कहीं छोटे से घर में खाना पीना तो मिल जाएगा जी लेंगे. I'm not worried about.
So you get the strength
like
of the fact you come from a divorced family.
Yes.
Your mother brought you up single-handedly.
Yes, single-handedly and brilliantly at that.
So you have learned from example that this is possible and that it's possible to do it well.
Yes, totally, and with a lot of comfort and so it's actually this transition hasn't really been very difficult for me other than maybe emotionally. It's not really been very difficult for me, no.
The new direction, your life is taken up. बहुत ही खुश है.
हाँ, कुछ तरह से तो बहुत खुश हैं और कुछ तरह से नहीं है और वो तो जिंदगी में हर मोड़ पे ये होता है that there are some aspects that are totally fulfilled and some that are not.
आप किस चीज़ की कमी महसूस करती हैं?
समय की अपने बच्चों के साथ सबसे ज़्यादा. मुझे उसका बहुत दुख है कि मैं उतना वक्त नहीं दे सकती अपने बच्चों को.
क्या वो आपके सेट्स पे आते हैं?
हाँ, बहुत आते हैं एंड आई हैव नो प्रॉब्लम्स अबाउट द फैक्ट कि अरे उसके बच्चे सेट पे बैठे रहते हैं एंड ऑल दैट. तो क्या है मेरे बच्चे अब मैं दिखते नहीं है तो मैं कहाँ मिलूँ फिर. आई वर्क सो मेनी आवर्स. So I don't mind. I love my kids coming on my sets.
Are they really proud to show off in school now?
Oh yeah, now Sara does. Like Sara, I know at times used to be really embarrassed when I was like all of size 16 and fat. I could see that my daughter was embarrassed and that oh my mother's such a motalli and But today I can see there's a sense of pride in my daughter's eyes.
क्या आप दोबारा शादी करेंगे?
पूजा मैं 16 साल की तो हूँ नहीं कि मैं बोलूँ हाँ पता नहीं या शायद या नहीं. Quite honestly, I don't think so. But you never know.
Why would you say so emphatically?
Because I have everything that a man can give me, actually, other than a few things, which I don't need to be married for, I would believe. No, that's very naughty. No,
that's lovely. That's lovely. अच्छा आप ये बताइए कि अगर आपने शादी दोबारा की तो क्या आप वापस अपने करियर को छोड़ देंगी?
नहीं, इसीलिए शायद नहीं करूँगी. So that I know I don't have anyone paying my bills for me and I have to stay in my job.
Amrita, Eleanor Roosevelt once said, she said, a woman is like a tea bag. You can test her strength only when you put it in hot water. And you, my dear, seem to be made of the strongest Assam brew.
Okay, is that the best that you get in the market?
That's the strongest.
Great, thanks. That's a compliment.
Yeah, that is a compliment, Amrita. And I think that you have been extremely inspirational for a lot of women out there. A lot of women, will be inspired to say, hey, listen, if Amrita Singh, 2 kids, lazy as can be, can get back on her feet.
Totally. Today, I wouldn't have life back in any other way other than this way.
Well, Amrita, it's been such a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your views and having this really heart-to-heart tete-a-tete.
Thank you very much. And I hope I haven't offended anyone.